Hi, this is Tom Brown, and I'm on my new YouTube channel. I've decided to go ahead and do this publicly because I speak on Facebook all the time about all the lies being launched by the left. Um, there's just so many of them. This coronavirus thing is very apparently a staged effort to tank the U.S. economy to hurt Donald Trump in the coming election. The coronavirus, California, state of emergency, not one diagnosed case, and yet state of emergency, and they are shutting down major events across the state, costing billions of dollars in losses to small businesses, to employees, to workers, to the tax revenue. They're also disrupting the lives of thousands, tens of thousands, if not millions of people. People scheduled to come to the state for events, people just scheduled to come to the state for work. Uh, all of this, and they don't have a single diagnosed case of coronavirus. Well, some of you are saying, yeah, but that's being precautionary. Yeah, that's a good idea. Let's not get it. Let's stop it before it starts. That makes sense. If coronavirus was dangerous, it would make a lot of sense to do that. Coronavirus is mildly more dangerous than the common flu. Mildly more dangerous than the common flu. Mildly more dangerous than the common flu. Based on the current known infection rate, which the estimates are that the known infection rate is maybe 10% of the actual infection rate. Based on the current known infection rate, coronavirus's reinfection rate is around 0.7% in the overall population. Now you have to not look at what happened to China because they ignored it for a month before the CDC picked up that there was something happening over there, and the Chinese government was more or less forced to start taking action because, quite frankly, they were having an issue where a lot of people were sick and a few people were dying. Not to discount the deaths, but the people dying were elderly or otherwise immunohealth compromised. The healthy population is not suffering terribly at all from coronavirus. A little bit worse than the flu. The flu is far more contagious from all indicators than the coronavirus. The coronavirus is infection contagion rate. If you go and talk to a healthy person with coronavirus infection, you have between a 1 and 5% chance of catching their infection. If you're standing this close to them and talking to them, even if they go like that and give a little cough out, and you're standing right there and they're infected, somewhere between 1 in 20 and 1 in 100 times you'll get infected. You'll catch their coronavirus. The flu is far more contagious than that. The flu is far deadlier. 60,000 people a year in this country, is it? Million, 2 million, 3 million a year across the globe die of the common flu, of the annual flu, of the flu that we all, worry about every year. This coronavirus is bad for the elderly. I don't want my mom or her husband, to be anywhere near anybody that's sick because they're in a much higher death rate age group. Something approaching 15% of the elderly who catch coronavirus die. 85% don't die. It's the other side of that stat. Somewhere in the neighborhood of 20%, they get seriously ill. 15% die. Another 5% get seriously ill but recover. The coronavirus survival rate, 98, 99, 99.3% don't die. Overall, a couple of things about that is, since it's more contagious amongst the elderly, and the elderly are much more likely to pass away from it, meaning 15% of them will die from it if they actually catch it, and more of them catch it. To the general population, coronavirus is almost a non-issue to the general population, you and me. We can go out to parties, we can go out to events, we can go out to concerts, we can go out to sports shows. Even if somebody is there and they're coughing and they're in the actual contagious zone of the infection, the likelihood of you catching it from them is very small. This is a manufactured crisis, and it is designed by the left to hurt Donald Trump's re-election campaign. As Bill Maher said, he's praying for an economic collapse. In his own words, it'll be worth it to get rid of Trump. Bill Maher, it'll be worth destroying the economy, destroying the lives of already impoverished people and already marginalized people to get rid of Trump. The very people he's helped, by the way. The very people he's helped. Donald Trump has helped the marginalized, the impoverished. He has improved the job prospects for so many millions. 3.4, I don't even have those stats in front of me. 3.4 million people came back into the workforce. Not just new jobs, but actually had left the workforce, gave up, said, screw it. This Obama economy, I can't get a job, screw it. Under Trump, they said, hey, I'm going to go make some money again. And they're back in the workforce and they're making a living. They're earning money. They're doing better than they were. In addition to that, real income has gone up for the first time in 20 plus years. Maybe 30. Real income. Your after-tax dollars adjusted for inflation have finally gone. You can actually buy more and live better for the first time in over 20 years. This is the Trump economy. Now, I've noticed under the recent downturn in the economy, Obama quit taking credit for it, and I'm glad to see he quit taking credit for it. Finally, you can look at the numbers, and they're right there, the graphs. Yes, everything went up under Obama. It went up, it went up, it went up. From 2010 to Election Day, things went up slightly. On Election Day, 2 months before Trump even took office, we had a hockey stick. We had an actual hockey stick. An actual hockey stick. It wasn't, what's his name, the Al Jazeera guy that used to be our vice president under Clinton. It wasn't his kind of a hockey stick. This was an actual hockey stick. The economy suddenly spiked. People were crying today because we're down 2,000 points from the peak of a few months ago. Much of that, because of the coronavirus and the fear and the hype. Much of that. It's a manufactured crisis. The coronavirus is a manufactured crisis. We need to let it go. Guys, girls, when you go into Costco and they're sold out of toilet paper, paper towels, bottled water, bottled sodas, Gatorades, Perrier, and other things that people would stock up on during like a hurricane or an actual crisis. And I'm here in Atlanta, Georgia, and they're sold out of these things. Now, I admit, I went there to get paper towels and toilet paper. Not because I was stocking up, but because I was out. It was time to go get more. I had one roll of paper towels and one roll of toilet paper left. So I was like, I'll go to Costco today and get some. The entire section was empty. You don't need to stock up for coronavirus. You might need to stock up for the overhyped, fear-mongered economic collapse that they're using the coronavirus to create. They being the left, the media, liberals, Democrats, Bernie Sanders, socialists, communists, maybe even Putin. I mean, he's really not our friend. He's not the enemy the left likes to make him out to be when it's convenient, but he's really not our friend either. The reality is we're all on this one planet together. He has just as much to gain or lose from a bad economy as we do. In fact, with the recent drop in oil prices, Russia's going to be hurting. They already were. So I don't think maybe Putin was part of the coronavirus hype. China might have been. Maybe this was their response to the trade deal. I think it's more likely it was the response to their people getting up in arms and protest, and they said, "Hey, let's make a bunch of them sick and scare them into staying indoors." 70,000 infections in a city of 11 million people over the course of a month. Untreated, unchecked, zero efforts by the Chinese made to slow the spread of coronavirus in Wuhan. 11 million people in that area. Only 70,000 of them got infected. That's kind of a low infection rate. Out of those 11 million people, what, 2,000 and something have died now? Sick, elderly. I mean, I don't want to discount that. We need to make sure we're taking care, reasonable care, to keep the infections down, just like we do with the flu, which is far deadlier. Just like we do with the flu, which is far deadlier. This coronavirus is hype. It's media hype. It's an effort. It's an intentional effort by the left-wing media, the George Soros followers. Hell, Bloomberg might be in on it. I don't know. The swamp. Call it what you want. They don't like Donald Trump because they don't like you and me. They don't want us to have power. So they don't like Donald Trump. Anyway, this is my first ever YouTube post. I'm creating my account today, and this is my passion in life, is talking about politics and what's happening in the world today. I've been doing it on Facebook for too many years, and people that I get along with great face to face, some of them, they don't like how passionate I am about my politics and my anti-hypocrisy, which is, I think, what I would have to call myself. I've been called a racist, a misogynist, and so many other things. I'm not. I'm an anti-hypocrist. Don't lie. If you have to lie to spread your agenda, your agenda shouldn't be getting spread. If you have to lie to push your narrative's false. Stick with the truth. Let the truth take us all where we're going. These lies that keep getting told by the left. Once I get this thing set up, I'll have a comment question area, and people can ask me questions like, what lies are you talking about? Some liberals are going to shout out at me. And I'll say, the Charlottesville lie. That's a good one. That's a good example. The hands up, don't shoot lie. It's been so long, I forget the guy's name. The supposedly bad cop just suddenly shot him to death as his girlfriend Diamond filmed him dying in the car. What a blatant, bold-faced lie that one was, and what a fiasco. Man had a gun in his lap, and his hand was on the gun. I hope I get to talk about this one at more length with, especially liberals who don't do research. They read a headline and they go rampant, mad dog crazy about it. And then I show them facts. They walk away, they shut up, they quit arguing. They discredit if they can, but usually they can't. I hope y'all like me talking on here because I want to keep doing it. I want to be one of the voices for reason in our nation. Everywhere I go, people come up to me, parties, social events, fundraisers. Some people won't talk to me, but other people come up and they tell me every day. They tell me, they come up and they say, I'm so glad you're on Facebook saying what you're saying. You're saying what I'm thinking, but I can't say it without losing my job. You know what? I can say it without losing my job, so I do. Left-wing liberal media hypocrisy is the enemy of America, the enemy of our constitutional republic. And I will stand up all day, every day, and fight against it. As I said to the Brit who came here to open his business because he couldn't open it in England, as I said to him one day, I will fight to the death against your agenda of implementing socialism in America. And I will. And there's millions of us, you, out there with me. I know this. And we need to. They are coming for our Constitution under the guise of protecting our Constitution. We have to stop them. Nobody else is going to. Nobody else is going to fight for our constitutional republic. Nobody else. We're it. As Ronald Reagan said, we are the last bastion. The last bastion. We're it. Hope to see you all again. Have a great day.